news. National Assembly grants expeditious consideration of the 2024 Appropriation Act Amendment Bill.
For renewed hope infrastructure projects and other critical infrastructure projects.
House of Representatives tackles lopsided recruitments in Nigerian universities.
Each state of the Federation should have 2.75% of the employees.
Plus, correspondent examines the roles of legislature following Supreme Court judgment on local government autonomy. Good evening and welcome to NTA Parliamentary News. I am Ene Ojonugba. In aligning with the federal government's ambition of providing appropriate remuneration for workers, the Senate granted expeditious consideration to the bill transmitted by President Bola Tinubu. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the amendment is to provide funding for the national minimum wage and key renewed hope capital projects committed in the 2024 budget.
To provide the sum of 3,200 billion only for renewed hope infrastructure projects and other critical infrastructure projects to be undertaken across the country, and the sum of 3 trillion only to meet further recurrent expenditure.
Lawmakers were upbeat during debate on the general principles of the Appropriation Amendment Bill, as provisions in the bill are relevant to present demands.
All the proposals in this bill are laudable and will enhance the critical needs of the citizens of our dear country. It is important for us to pass this amendment so that there will be money that will be enough to pay the minimum wage.
Instead of bringing supplementary appropriation bill, but the executive decided to amend the existing act to get monies, from one end to the other to take care of legacy projects. This is a wonderful thing, and of course, to also take care of the minimum wage issue.
The Finance Act 2024 Amendment Bill, which seeks to impose taxes on banks as revenue for government, also passed second reading. Senate has resolved to investigate building collapse in Nigeria as it adopts the motion from Senator Diket Plank on the recent building collapse in Jos Plateau State.
Bring to book anyone connected with putting up a shabby structures of the St. Academic School, Buzabuji, that collapsed and killed those innocent children in Plateau North Senatorial District.
I saw on television the rubbles of this particular building in Jos that collapsed and killed these children. I wept because even the columns were irregular.
Meanwhile, Senator Mohammed Tahir Mungunu has been appointed the Senate Majority Whip following removal of Senator Mohammed Ali Ndume as requested by the national leadership of the All Progressives Congress.
His uncouth and rabid outbursts against the governments before the international community and before the global community is not only harmful to the government's image alone, but also undermines the party's unity and cohesion.
It was in relation to unsubstantiated claims made by Senator Ndume against the federal government during an interview on a television station. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Similarly, the bill seeking the amendment of the 2024 Appropriation Act has scaled second reading at the House of Representatives. National Assembly correspondent Mitairi Ikpen reports.
We have a message from the President.
Two executive bills read by the Speaker seek to amend the 2024 Appropriation Act and the Finance Act 2023
to provide the sum of 3,200 billion naira for renewed hope infrastructure projects and other critical infrastructure projects to be undertaken across the country, and 3 trillion naira to meet recurrent expenditure requirements necessary for the proper operation of the federal government expenditure.
Lawmakers referred the bills to the House Committee on Appropriation.
This is not supplementary, actually. It's called budget adjustments. So existing 2024 budget we are going to consider and amend so that those important critical projects can be executed.
The House passed the 2024 NDDC budget of 1.9 trillion naira.
The sum of 1 trillion naira has been allocated for ongoing and legacy projects to move the region forward.
Lawmakers also received Nigeria's 2024 Olympic and Paralympic contingent with a charge to go for gold and a donation.
With a sum of 100 million naira to support the team. Go to Paris with a clear mindset and determination to surpass our previous record.
Let this not be a one-off. Let this be a beginning conversation between the Ministry of Sport and the sports sector and the People's House.
Away from plenary at a public hearing on 5 bills, the House Committee on Commerce laments the absence of professional bodies to regulate critical economic sectors.
Every democratic dispensation is guided by laws, acts which helps in the smooth running of the government, thereby setting the rules to follow to ensure that citizens benefit maximally all that the government has in stock for them.
The committee says outdated laws will be repealed and reenacted to foster economic growth. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
Still at the National Assembly, the House of Representatives Committee on University Education is advising management of such institutions against lopsided recruitments, not in conformity with the principles of federal character. Correspondent Mohammed Rabiu Ali reports that this was during oversight to the Federal University of Technology, Minna.
The oversight to federal universities is part of the committee's mandate to ensure check and balance in the implementation of 2023 budget. Cross-examining documents presented by the university management, committee members identified areas that require improvement in service delivery.
I saw that between January and December 2022, 49,940 for newspapers. Over the same period, January-December 2023, the figure jumped to 217,500. And I do know that there has been a marginal increase in the price of newspapers.
The 2024 Oversight Visits Report on page 9, the report indicated that no release was received, hence no expenditure was made in the same January 2022. There is a contradiction of the report.
We have had situation where, as we speak today, we still have backlog of NEPA bill that we have not been able to pay.
What the Federal Character Commission provides for employees of all federal government agencies. Each state of the federation should have 2.75% of the employees.
Federal University of Technology, Minna, is one among the tertiary institutions established in the early 90s. In Abuja, Mohammed Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
The recent Supreme Court judgment on local government autonomy elicited reactions across the country, with many seeing it as another opportunity to have development at the grassroots. In this special report, Isa Mohammed takes a look at the expected role of the legislature to ensure adherence to the provision of the Constitution at that level of government.
With the Supreme Court judgment, what comes readily to minds of many Nigerians is what role the legislature has to play to ensure adherence to the judgments. Indeed, the legislature has an arm of government with the powers to make, amend, and repeal laws for peace, unity, and development of the country, has a pivotal role to play in this regard, more especially through oversight functions.
The independence or autonomy of the states imply that all appropriations should go to the states directly, and that there will be anything like joint account, and therefore it becomes a criminal act or breaching the law if any state or in any place monies that are monthly allocations to states and to local governments are not sent directly to them.
Those sections that have mentioned, the State Independent Electoral Commission, they have to work on them so that with these Supreme Court decisions, then we can now have INEC conduct the elections to local government.
The powers given to the local governments. Now, the powers are powers to determine their own development trajectory.
As the legislature plays its parts, so also Nigerians expect more commitment from the local government managers. Understanding local needs of the people, deliver essential services, promoting grassroots development, and improving on the quality of lives as they will be accountable to the people. In Abuja, Isa Muhammad, NTA News.
Joining us is the former chairman, Senate Committee on Rules and Business, Senator Ita Enang, who will be throwing more light on the local government autonomy judgment in Nigeria. Senator, you're welcome to our news.
Thank you very much, and I welcome myself too.
Senator, as a former legislator, what is the fallout of the Supreme Court judgment on local government autonomy?
I wish we look at the functions of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission again to espouse whether their jurisdiction extends to making salaries and allowances for local government council. But that is, I think the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission will have to come in so that the local governments don't create the kind of bogus bureaucracy that they'll have chairman, vice chairman, elected councillors, 10 or 11 or 12, and then they will also have advisors, supervisory councillors, because you can't have a councillor and then you have supervisory councillors, So they will have to do this, and this will go to the extent of the recurrent expenditure.
How can these judgments influence active legislation at the third tier of governments?
The local government councils are called local government councils because they have a council made up of the councillors. The law will also have to state whether the chairman of the local government is a member of the council, or the council will also have to elect its own leader to preside, so that the chairman and the vice chairman will be part of the executive while the councillors elect from among themselves leader, or who will now be like the acting speaker, who will now take the role of the speaker of that legislative council. So that it will now, that council will now appropriate the monies that comes in from federation account, from the state, through the state local government joint account, because they are entitled to revenue from the state, and then from the internally generated revenue of the local government. That council of each local government, each of 768 and 6 area councils, will now be appropriating the monies that comes into the local government, and that will guide how the monies and the expenditures are made.
Thank you very much, Senator Ita Enang, for sharing your thoughts with us on Parliamentary News.
Thank you very much.
We now take a short break, and when we return, IKITI State House of Assembly synergizes with agencies to address insecurity. Do stay tuned.
Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the Marketing Department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki, Abuja, or call these numbers 080 383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
You are still on NTA Parliamentary News. And moving on, the IKITI State House of Assembly is synergizing with security agencies towards addressing the spate of insecurity in the state. This was in focus at stakeholders meeting with security agencies and local government chairmen. Ayodeji Ogunshakin reports.
The spate of insecurity occasioned by killing of innocent citizens, most especially point-on-sale POS operators, has been source of concern among residents in Ekiti State. Worried by this ugly situation, the State House of Assembly at its plenary mandated the Committee on Security to synergize with the security agencies and relevant stakeholders towards addressing the situation. The stakeholders meeting provided an avenue to brainstorm on the current security situation and means of addressing such. Although the meeting was held behind closed door, but the State Commissioner of Police, Chairman House Committee on Security, the Majority Leader as well as the Chairman Association of Local Government of Nigeria, Algon, said with the deliberation there is hope in sight that the act of crime and criminalities will be checkmated in Ekiti State.
Our own is to strengthen our strategies to ensure we are above the criminals, and we are going to do that. And the peace will be restored by the special grace of God. That's why we have to work with the community leader, traditional rulers. The only thing everybody should be taking on board to work with the police and other security agents. Security is a collective responsibility. If you have information and you are harboring, you are not telling us, then you are not helping the society.
The need for this meeting arose from complaints from our constituents to honorable members from their constituency. One, about the spate of crime, the increase. We have discussed extensively. We have been able to identify areas where we have shortcomings. I've also been able to advise on areas where they need support from the legislature.
We are on top of the game, and I believe that this meeting it's a productive meeting, and we all, came out with a reasonable resolution.
You cannot totally get a secured environment like that. It's still relatively peaceful, you understand? But this emerging challenges necessitated meetings like this. And I think it's proactive on the part of the members of the House of Assembly to call for this kind of meetings.
The meeting has in attendance the Nigerian Police, Department of State Services, DSS, other non-official security agencies, local government chairmen, and other relevant stakeholders. From the State House of Assembly, Ayodeji Ogunshakin, NTA News.
Still on security, the Osun State House of Assembly has confirmed the appointment of former Assistant Inspector General of Police, Tajuddin Wale Abbas, as the new chairman, Osun State Security Network, and Amotekun Corps. The House at plenary also confirmed Adekunle Isaac Omoyele as the commandant of the Corps. Correspondent Muyiwa Omowumi has details.
Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke weeks ago sent letter to the State House of Assembly for confirmation of retired AIG Tajuddin Wale Abbas as chairman of Osun State Security Network and Amotekun Corps, and Isaac Omoyele as commandant. The House at plenary asked the nominees various security questions for which there were satisfactory answers. With motion moved by the majority leader of the House of Assembly Osun State, Babajide Koforola, and seconded by Tajuddin Adeyemi, representing Ifelodun State constituency, the Speaker, Adewale Egbedun, confirmed the appointment. Egbedun described the duo as a round peg in a round hole needed to refine security architecture of the state against crimes and criminality.
That this House confirmed AIG Wale Abbas retired as chairman and Dr. Omoyele Adekunle Isaac as Corps Commander of Amotekun Security Network. If you are in support here, if you are against the ayes have it, and the appointment of AIG Wale Abbas retired and Dr. Omoyele Adekunle Isaac are hereby confirmed by this House.
The nominees promised to create an enabling environment that will protect lives and property of residents of the state.
And I want to tell you that one of our cardinal points
is that we want to see Osun people sleeping with their two eyes closed. 1. 2, we want to create an enabling environment for the economic growth of Osun State, because it's only when you have a situation that pave way security-wise for people to come in, that is when you can see that the state will grow.
We are ready to do everything to make sure the citizenry they were secured. The life and property in Osun State was secured.
In another development, the Osun State Local Government Amendment Number 1 Bill 2024 was passed into law. The Speaker directed that the final copies should be produced and forwarded to Governor Ademola Adeleke for assent. From the Osun State House of Assembly, Muiwa Omowumi, NTA News.
The Taraba State House of Assembly Standing Committee on Education has presented its report on the State Polytechnic Sultai Reenactment Bill 2024 before the House. Chairman of the committee, Angie Josiah Yaro, after laying the report, said the committee carefully studied the oral presentations and written memoranda by relevant stakeholders before putting the report together. Correspondent Godwin Inaligo has details.
The House, at its sitting on the 11th of June 2024, referred the Taraba State Polytechnic Sultai Reenactment Bill 2024 to the committee after it sailed through second reading. This was to enable the committee conduct public hearing and to report back to the House for consideration of the report. Chairman of the committee, Angie Josiah Yaro, said the committee carried out its function diligently by inviting relevant stakeholders and the general public to take part in the public hearing conducted on June 26, 2024. The committee, he explained, made several observations before writing the report.
It was really a Herculean task, but we were able to overcome all odds to carry out this assignment.
Angie Josiah Yaro, on behalf of members of the committee, expressed profound gratitude to the Speaker and the entire leadership of the House for finding them worthy to serve in that capacity. Member representing Mbamga State Constituency at the Assembly, Abel Peter Dia, while commending the committee for a job well done, urged its chairman to substantiate some of the sections in the report, which he did.
Number 8 and number 9 of the recommendation, which has to do completely with deleting paragraph 1, 2, subparagraph 1, 2, and 3. The committee recommended that it should be deleted. And actually, I felt that the committee will have indicated those sections, whether they deal with what, so that we should be able to contribute.
Where he said the rector will hold the office for 5 years and no more. So if that one has already been taken care of, the increase of tenure of the office, there's no need to say if all those 3 should take place again, since there is not even any rector in office. It was the one that is there is only acting.
The report was well debated. Our leader, Right Honorable Abel Peter, raised some observation, and it was clarified by the chairman of the committee. And thereafter, members unanimously adopted the report. The committee report on education of Taraba State Polytechnics Reenactment Bill 2023 is hereby adopted.
The Deputy Speaker, Herman Adama Abdullahi, who presided over the plenary, referred the report to the Rules, Business and Legislative Compliance Committee for next action. From the Assembly, Godwin Inalegu, NTA News.
The removal of electricity from exclusive list through President Bola Tinubu's assent to the 2024 Electricity Amendment Bill empowers states to generate, transmit and distribute electricity within their jurisdictions. The House of Assembly has therefore invited these stakeholders to take advantage of the power sector prospects and make input into the Electricity Bill 2024.
We just wanted clarity around what it covers. So it just generally speaks around licensing, but does it cover all of the different aspects of generation, and distribution. So I think that clarity will be important, just from an investor perspective.
I would also suggest that this Honorable House consider a mechanism to help us regulate the price of gas. Because as it stands now, gas kills our business.
The total generation in our country, Nigeria, is less than 4,600 megawatts. I look at the appointment of the managing director. If we are to succeed, as far as the Lagos Electricity Act is concerned, we must put the right people in the right position.
How do you intend to protect the investments of the already existing discourse?
Speaker, Lagos House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, was represented.
Some of these questions, this is trying to come up with a law. Don't forget regulations will still come. So some of these things, regulation will definitely take care of them.
The bill comprises of 143 clauses set out in 21 parts, 6 to replace the earlier bill forwarded to the Lagos State House of Assembly for the repeal of the Lagos State Electric Power Sector Reform Law 2018 and to replace it with Lagos State Electricity Law 2024.
Chairman, Committee on Energy and Mineral Resources sheds more light on the prospects of the electricity bill.
Lagos is trying to have its own future in its own hands by setting up a commission to regulate electricity in Lagos State so that teeming citizens and residents of Lagos can have a reliable electricity and affordable electricity in the state.
The issues that are currently not allowing operators to do their business is now has been resolved in this law.
The bill outlines the creation of the Lagos State Electrification Agency to manage public electricity works and infrastructure, as well as the Lagos State Electrification Fund. In Lagos, Musa Tolia, NTA News.
That's the size of our package this evening. But remember, you can still watch our programs on the social media handles showing on your screen. Thank you for watching and have a very pleasant evening. I am Ene Ojonugba.